Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Jaleesa J, and my channel is based on everything wellness. This week we will be talking more about budgeting, focusing on specifically weekly paychecks and bi-weekly paycheck budgets. So if that's something that you're interested in, continue watching my video. So this week, it's a continuation off of our my series that I've been doing of financial wellness and just getting yourself into a groove of budgeting and giving yourself a little bit more ease on, just developing a healthy budget so that with finances it can affect our mental health. So that's where I'm going with this, and before we get started in the video, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and the bell so that you know when I post my next videos, or when my videos will be uploaded. So let's get started. So as you can see, today I have my October calendar, and I mentioned the calendar back in the video of the budget binder, and if you haven't seen that video, I will link it somewhere in this video so you can click the link so that you can watch it. A part of my budget binder is that I organized my bills on a calendar. Yes, I wrote everything down. I have everything listed, but I feel, like I said last week, I am a visual person, so I like to see everything laid out. So as you can see, I have every bill that's due for the month laid out, and I also have my paydays. I'm going to first dive into bi-weekly paycheck budgets. As I stated last week, that I pay, the way I pay my bills and have them mapped out is, for example, payday for me is on the 9th. So my prior check, my last check in September, had to cover me from September 25th all the way up until the 9th. So if we go back into the list of all of the bills and their due dates, you would know, of course, in the beginning of the month you have your rent. Well, for me, my rent, my cable, I have a loan that I'm paying on, that's all due on the 1st. My initial cell phone due date is the 2nd, but because I get it auto paid, it's always paid at the end of the prior month. So it's either the 30th or the 31st that my cell phone bill is auto debited. And if you don't have it on auto pay, check with your provider and see if they'll provide you some type of credit, because I keep my cell phone on auto pay. And that's something else I'm going to talk about in this video, is that with auto pays, if they're not benefiting you, like you're not getting some type of a discount, I wouldn't have anything on auto pay. So my cell phone provider, because I have it on auto pay, gives me a $20 credit. Who wouldn't want a $20 credit on their cell phone? So that's a tip that you guys can look into with your cell phone providers and see. I mean, any provider. You could check for your cable. You could check for your light. I know with student loans, when they were due, they would give you, if you set up auto pay, they would give you a percentage off of your interest rate or something of that sort. But check those things out. There's ways to save money. And with all you have going on as far as bills. But let's get back into it. So my original cell phone date is the 2nd, but it gets auto drafted on either the 31st or the 3rd. I mean 31st or the 30th. Then I also have it listed other bills that are due, like my other credit card bills, and then leading up to payday, those are the things that you pay attention to for the bi-weekly budget. So the gist of it is, for example, you have the 9th, and then I get paid on the 23rd. So once I get paid on the 9th, all the bills in between the 9th and the 23rd is what I need to cover between the 9th and the 23rd. However, what I run into, which I'm being, transparent, what I run into is that the end of the month to paycheck, how many bills are coming out, because you have to take care of the end of the month bills plus the beginning of the next month's bills. This part, or this second week, the budget is a little bigger because you have more bills coming out. So what I tend to do is, for example, I get paid on the 9th and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bills that come out. And actually I need to change this because my car insurance just went down, y'all. Love my car insurance company. It went down. So I have 5 bills that are due. So these don't add up to my whole paycheck. So what I do is, whatever monies I have left over, of course I budget out to get, make sure I have gas for that for the next 2 weeks, and I have groceries for the next 2 weeks. But then what I also do is that I count up or look at all of the bills that are due after my last paycheck of the month, and see where I can supplement, or take some of the money that I have left over to add to the monies for these bills. Because if you take a look at November, I won't get paid again until November 6th because I'm on a bi-weekly budget, and that's way after rent is due and way after the cell phone bill's already taken out. So it's different methods to budgeting and making sure that you have money to cover your bills. So that pretty much sums up the bi-weekly paycheck budget. It's just having the monies from you technically living paycheck to paycheck, but you're living paycheck to paycheck, but you're also able to cover yourself, and hopefully if you're sticking to a good budget, you'll have the monies to place aside in a savings account for a rainy day, or if you're saving up for something, you'll be able to put in your budget, okay, well, if my check is $1,000, for example, and my bills only add up to $175, you still have monies left over. So then you take some of that money, you budget out for whatever it is you need to budget out for those next 2 weeks, which is, for me, groceries and gas. And then the rest I put towards my debts, and I put into savings. Now, for those of us who get paid on a weekly basis, this is where it gets a little tricky, because of course you get more pays. So like in the month of October, if you get paid where I worked previously, I got paid every Thursday when I got paid weekly. So how I did my budget is that so say like you look at week 1, you get paid on the 1st. That's that Thursday. But that prior Thursday, you would have to budget out those bills for this week. So if you got paid, I don't know what day the last Thursday of the month was, 25th, well, no, the 25th. Either way, neither here nor there. The last Thursday of September, you would have to have money to cover whatever bills are due for that upcoming week, because you get paid on that Thursday. So then you would need, from the 1st to the 8th, you would need to have monies to cover that. However, there is a trick. You're not going to always have bills coming out. Well, for me, I have bills coming out every week. So looking at mine and doing what I used to do as far as the weekly budget, if I got paid on the 1st and I had, my 2 credit card bills that needed to be paid, and that was it, because then I was getting paid again on the 8th, I would save up some monies to offset the rent that is due. So it's not like you have, I only paid 2 bills this week, I only paid $44 in bills, so I got money to blow. No, a part of the budget, a part of sticking to a budget is saying, okay, well, I only have $44 worth of bills this week, but I know in the next 3 weeks I have rent due. So what you do is, to help you stay on a budget and to help you make sure that you covering all of your bills even though you get paid weekly, is that you say, prime example, my rent's $520. I wish it was just that as a whole. No, I mean, my mama split it. So, but for my portion, it's $520. So for me, if I was getting paid bi-weekly, I would take $520 and divide that by 4. So then by the time the 29th gets here and we're rolling into November, I'll already have the 520 saved up so that when the first gets here and you got to pay rent, you're not scrambling or try to use the last week's check to try to cover your rent. And that's just with any budget. Like, some people I know, they do the half and half. This is for people who, would get paid bi-weekly, but I'm pretty sure it could probably work for weekly pays, where you add up all your bills that you have to pay for a month and you half them. So for example, maybe it could work with a weekly. So for example, if you get paid weekly and all your bills add up to $1,500, so all you have to do is divide $1,500 by the number of times you get paid, and so you'll have the monies for that. But it might get a little tricky and difficult, and you have to work at it to see what works best for you. But some people do the half method, where I know for bi-weekly people, we tend to add up all of our expenses. And then, say if I got paid on the 9th, take out half of what was due or what needs to be paid, and then that next paycheck you take out the other half. So there's ways to do budgeting, and there's ways to make sure that we're covering all of our bills. Another tip that I would give is that once you map out all of your bills, see where you can eliminate some to free up some more money so that you can either put it towards another debt or you can save it. But I tell you, for me, having this calendar has helped me tremendously on getting organized as far as what bills are being paid. And guys, I'm telling you, sometimes you're gonna have extra money because you have gotten into a groove where you paid all your bills and you're like, wait, did I forget to pay something? But no, what I go in and do is in a different color, because you gotta get excited about budgeting. So maybe you'll do your labeling in red and do your paids in pink, or whatever the case is, whatever floats your boat, honestly. But you write what you've already paid. So if it's already been paid, you just simply put whatever you decide. I put PD because that means paid for me. So then I know that these bills have already been paid. I know my mom, she has a book that she actually writes down when she paid them, what time. I don't know if she goes into timing, but what time, what date, all of that, so that she can keep track of her bills, so she knows that she paid her bills. And then if there's a discrepancy, she knows. And if she pays something online, which I think is a really good idea, if you're paying things online, write down your confirmation numbers, so just in case something happens where they say, oh, we didn't get your payment, you can bust out the good old confirmation number. And what I normally do is, if I pay it online or pay it on my phone, I'll take a screenshot and save it in my phone. And if maybe a month goes by or whatever the case is and nothing happens, then I'll just go ahead and delete it. Most of the time I don't, just because I'm just that person where it might be a just in case moment 6 months down the line, and they'd be like, oh, back in 2007 you didn't pay your cell phone bill. I'm exaggerating, but you get the gist. But as far as the weekly and bi-weekly pays, you just have to find your own groove and find out what works best for you, as far as what type of method you want to use for the weekly, what type of method you want to use for the bi-weekly. And I'm telling you, like I said, budgeting is how you make it. So if you find something that doesn't work for you, try something else. Google something. There's so many different resources that you can find on the internet that can help you get better at budgeting, so that you lower your stress level, lower your anxiety, because you're worried about bills and money and everything. But once you get a grip and a hold, a kung fu grip, on that money, I'm telling you, your life will become, I'm not gonna say easier, because life definitely ain't easy, but it'll become a flow, and you'll be able to manage your money well, and then we can get into talking about investing and doing all of that stuff. But let's do baby steps right now. We're gonna do baby steps. But if you like this video, I want you to go ahead and give it a thumbs up, comment, talk to me, because I talk back. Let me know what else you guys want to see as far as financial wellness series. This may be this is going to be the last video that I do on financial wellness. It may come back, but I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye bye.